Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how to do a fun technique called faux embossing. This card here uses a bold image stamp from a set called Just Believe, and you're going to stamp in white craft ink, and then after that dries you're going to stamp in the same color ink as your cardstock directly on top but a little bit offset. You're going to use your Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. We're going to use a stamp set called Just Believe, and we're going to use this bold image here. I'm going to use a new color cardstock. I believe it's called Crushed Sugar Spice, and this is one of the new in colors that's going to be in the new Stampin' Up! Catalog that's due out June 1st. Actually, I think you can start ordering May 31st. We're going to take your bold image stamp. We're going to use white craft ink, and I did re-ink this. You want it to be fairly juicy. So when you're inking up the bold image stamp, you're just going to pat it, and it's almost like paint that's getting on top of the stamp, and you just want to keep going. So you can see how there's not enough ink here, but this is all nice and white here. So just keep patting it until you get a nice solid coating. So it's all nice and white. You're just going to go to your cardstock here, place the stamp where you want it on the paper, and then take your time and press pretty firmly to get a nice solid inking. And you can hold it with one hand and walk your fingers around, but just press, press, press. And then you're going to lift that up. You're going to give that a second to dry. Okay, now that this stamped image is dried, we're going to come back to the bold image stamp, and we're going to ink it up in the same color ink as the cardstock. This one is called Baked Brown Sugar, and you're just going to pat your ink across the stamp. You want to get a nice solid inking. So we need to line this up exactly on top and just slightly offset. So I tried to do it without the Stamp-A-Ma-Jig, and I'll show you what happened. It didn't work very well. So you really do want to use your stamp positioner. The way that you use this is you set it down on your table. You're going to take the corner here and line it up to the inside part of your Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. So it just slides right in, and this is sitting against the side. It's not on top. It's very important that it's sliding up to the sides. Then you're going to take your stamp that you've inked up. You're going to put this corner right up here and just line it up so it's up against the edges and set it down. Once it's down, you can move this out of the way. Press it down. Now this is on a plastic sheet, an imaging sheet. So the ink is water-based, it's not going to dry. If you were to run your finger across the top, you're going to smear it. So you do want to be careful with that. So what you're going to do is you're going to line this up, and I like to line it up exactly on top first. And then you can scoot it over just a smidgen. So I moved it just a little bit to the right. And I'm going to take this Stamp-A-Ma-Jig, this little part here, and remember we're going to push it right up against the side of the plastic and the top. So it's just right up to the edges of that plastic. It's not on top. We're going to slide this out of the way. Now because I stamped this on that imaging sheet, I need to add more ink. So I'm just careful not to move this. And I'm just going to pat this up again. You're going to take it and hold it at a place that's convenient for you, but you need to get that corner into that corner there. So hold this with one hand. I'm up at the top here. I'm not touching the paper yet. So I'm just lining it up to the edges, and once I push it down onto the paper, this can be removed, and you can take your time and press firmly around all the edges. And then once you've got that nice and pressed down, you're going to lift it up. So you can see that we've slightly offset the image. So you can see a little bit of the white outline to the left and a little bit of the dark outline to the right. So it just gives you the impression that the image is embossed when it really isn't. And I'll go back to the sample here. So on this card, you can see once it dries, see how it looks right here? It actually gets a little more vibrant once this ink dries completely. So I've added some of the crochet ribbon here, a little paper piercing along the bottom. I stamped my greeting in the same color ink as the cardstock. I did the same faux embossing with the butterfly image here, and I've added some pearls. Now, think about the pearls on this white craft ink. This ink needs to be really, really dry. Not dry to the touch, but actually dry. So you might want to wait a little bit before you put the pearls on there, because when I first made this card, my pearls came off. So I had to make sure that this ink was really dry before I added the pearls. I hope you enjoyed this technique and will give it a try. Please post links to your projects in the comments section. I'd love to check it out. You can also find more project ideas at KeenanCreations.com. Thank you.